Hi, I'm Pouya, and together in this course we are going to learn powerful Instagram marketing strategies that will help you to grow your page, get real, loyal followers, and convert them into customers. The course includes 5 chapters, and during each of them we are going to learn everything that works today on Instagram and will help you to grow your page. We are going to learn about how to create viral and strong reels that will bring you a lot of followers. We're going to learn storytelling, carousels, and the foundation and fundamental stuff about each of the post types that will help you to use them in the right way, in the right situation, for the right purpose. So if you're ready to grow your Instagram page starting today, enroll in the course and I will see you in the first lecture. So here we are in the first lecture of Instagram Marketing Fundamentals. Let's take a look at what we are going to learn during this lecture. I tried to compress all of it and put it inside one lecture so we can learn all of it in one place, and also to make it faster for you to learn. So here are the topics that we are going to learn during this lecture. The first, we are going to talk about username and its effect on Instagram marketing. We are going to talk about name and how you should select it based on the type of your page, the profile image, and how you should again select the right profile picture, the right profile image for your page, and bio and call to action, which is extremely important. And later on Instagram marketing, if you don't do this part right, you are going to have issues. And finally, business and creator type of the page. So let's begin with the first one, username. So the username should be short and understandable. This is really important because I've seen a lot of people who are doing Instagram marketing selecting extremely difficult and complicated usernames. So when we say short and understandable, it means that you shouldn't, for example, put 2-3 words after each other without anything to separate it, okay? And the thing about username is that it's unique. Meaning, if I select a username, for example, Pouya, you cannot select the same username with the same dictation, right? So I understand that many of the ideas that you may have in your mind to select the right username may not be possible because someone else already took that username, but you should be innovative. If your username is not available, be innovative. Try to use other words in your username, like for example the location that you are in, or your store or your company is located. For example, if you have a company or a store in New York, you can write the name of your brand and dot or underline, and then for example NY as New York, right? And everybody understand that, right? This NY is for New York. And it is searchable, meaning the words that you put in your username, if somebody search for that word, they can find you. So try to use the words that are connected to your business. I'm not saying that you have to, but it's a bonus, right? So here is the place of the username shown on Instagram page. And one thing, let me tell you, after a while, Instagram will change the place or the design, the look of elements, right? Don't panic, they may move it left, right, a little down, a little up, but it's there, right? Right now it is at the top of the page on the left side. And the way to edit it is to come here, click on edit profile, and on the next page, the second line is username. The next one is name. So the name is not unique, similar to username, right? You can select any name you like. And the good news is that it is searchable as well. So try to use keywords that help people to find you easier and is connected to your business, right? So for example, here, this is my name. As you can see, it is shown under the profile image on the page. and my name is Pouya Eti dash marketing expert. So I used marketing for the searchable reason. So people who search for marketing, they have a chance to find me, right? So the way to edit it is to click on edit profile as shown at the bottom of the image. And on the next page, the first line is name. And as I said, it's not unique. So you have the opportunity to select any name that anyone else have selected before, right? So next is profile image. If your page is a business page, it's about a company, just use the logo. If it's a person, similar to my page, it's a personal brand, use the face. Now, this is really important and a lot of people make mistakes. I don't know why, because it's so simple, but just follow this rule and it will have positive effect on your marketing, right? Avoid complicated images, meaning when you are putting the logo of your company, avoid a lot of side designs, right? Just put the logo. Look at Nike, for example, how it is. It's just their logo in a background, right? It's so simple. Look at Apple, look at Google. It's just simply their logo in an empty space, right? And if it is a personal brand like the one that I have, just try to keep it simple. Just put the face of yourself and try not to use an image which is from far away, like the full body image, right? So as you can see here, this is the place that the profile image shown. And for example, in my case, it's from chest above, right? And my face is clear. My background is a blue background, so it's not complicated. There are not a lot of stuff or other people in my image. You should avoid all these things. And the way to edit it is to click on edit profile. And on the next part, on the next page, you can see here at the top, it's written change profile photo in blue. And you can edit your profile photo this way. The next part is bio and call to action. This is really important and try to pay more attention. So try to keep it very simple. This simplicity matters a lot. So pay attention to it in all the steps of marketing. If you make something complicated, it will work against your goals. Okay? It's so simple. I'm gonna repeat it. Whatever you're doing in marketing, keep it simple and understandable. If you make it complicated, it will work against you. So I'm gonna explain why this simplicity matters very fast. Back then, in old ages, finding food and having energy matters a lot to our brain. It wasn't like today that we go to the refrigerator or pick up the phone and call and the food appear in our doorsteps, right? It wasn't like that back then. So saving energy matters a lot to our brain. Our brain still works the same way because it wants to survive, right? It wants to save as much as energy it can to survive. But today, when we have the food ready anytime we want, the saving energy doesn't really matter. But our mind is working that way. The mind of your users are working that way as well. So when you make something complicated, for example, you write a bio which is very long, a lot of different words without any visuals, without any emojis, it is complicated. And the mind of your users, of your potential followers, when they look at this, they say that, oh, it's so complicated. Their mind tell them that, all right, avoid reading this because it's complicated. It requires energy. Avoid it, right? So that's why it is extremely important in marketing to keep everything simple and understandable. Explain what your page is about in the first 1 or 2 lines, okay? So immediately when someone comes to your page, when they look at your page, when they read the first 2 lines, they look at the first 2 lines, they must understand what your page is about. Is it a clothing page? Is it a marketing page? Is it a fun a page about funny stuff, for example. What is it about? Is it about science? Is it about traveling? Is it about a personal blogger who tries different food? It must explain that right at the beginning. Use emojis. Why? The same story about saving energy. Our mind understands the stuff much better when it sees an image, right? When you see an image or a video, when it is visual, you will learn it much better. You will understand it much better. And emojis will help your potential followers to understand what you wrote in the bio much faster and easier. The last line of the bio is call to action. So whatever you write there, it should encourage and push the user to click on the link under the bio. So here it is, the bio of my page. As you can see, the first two lines are about me. Who am I? I'm an entrepreneur, producer, marketer, and I have about 340,000 students. Okay, so it's just telling about who am I, who this person is, what this page is about. Okay, and you see I have used emojis there, so immediately it's just 4 words, 4 or 5 words, and 4 or 5 emojis, right? Immediately you can understand what this page is about without spending a lot of energy, so your mind will not reject it. Okay, the last line, as you can see here, want to learn how to grow a business with marketing? Click on the link below and learn, for example. You can use, this is the call to action part. You can use anything there that encourage the user to click on the link. For example, download the free PDF and learn this. Get 20% off on your first purchase using the link below. Okay, give followers a reason why they should click on that link. Okay, give them a reward and push them to click on that link, right? This is all about this is all the things that you need to think and you need to do when you're writing a bio, right? And the way to edit it, click on edit profile, and the same way on the next page, as you can see at the bottom of the image, there you can edit your bio. One tip here about the bio is that if you want to write it in different lines, when you write it here on Instagram, it won't allow you. It will write all in front of each other. The way you have to do it, go to another app like a messaging app like WhatsApp or the messaging app of your phone, write the bio that you want, go to the next line, write the second line, go to the third line, and when you're done, just copy and paste it here, right? The next and the last one is about business and creator page. So when you convert your page to a business or creator, you can run ads. Okay, this is one of the benefits of having a business or creator page. The second one is that you can add shop to your page. If you have an online shop, you can add it to your Instagram and upload the stuff, upload your product and the images of your products on your Instagram, and people can click and they can, from the image, from the post, they can jump into your online store and buy your products. The next one is that you can view insights and analytics of your page. What's happening on your page? For example, you upload this post, it was very successful. You can understand from where the traffic came, right? You can understand, are the users came from, for example, the explore page, the feed page, or the hashtags help you to rank so high, right? So it's extremely important. As we go forward, we will go deep into each part of it. So the way to convert your page to business or creator is to click on the 3 lines icon at the top of your page, then select setting from the menu, and on the next part, select account. And after that, click on switch account type and then follow the steps. It's 2-3 steps. It's very simple. And then you can convert your page to a creator or business. Now, what's the difference between business and creator? You should use a business account when your Instagram page is about a company, it's about a brand, it's about a business, okay? And you have probably an online store. On the other hand, you should use creator when it's about an influencer. It's about someone, a person mostly, or a team who are creating stuff, okay, who are creating content and maybe later want to make money by sharing other products from other companies and stuff like that, or showing ads and so on, okay? So if you are a brand or a company, use business. If you are an influencer or a creator like me, you can use the creator. All right, so that was all about this part. Let's go for the next one. On this lecture, we are going to learn more about Instagram post types, the different type of posts that we can have on our Instagram page, and where we have to use them, how we should use them, how we should benefit them. That works much better from the marketing perspective, I can say. So let's take a look at what we have here. Instagram post types. The first one is single post or video. You have seen it a lot. It's just one image or one single video, and it's for weekly content. During the week you want to upload 1 or 2 post images or videos, like 2, 3, 4, 5 minute video, or depending on your business you can do it longer, but you shouldn't do it much. For example, I'm not going to suggest you, based on what Instagram is today, to upload, for example, 20 images every week or 10 videos every week, right? 10 long videos. I'm not going to suggest that to you because it's not going to be helpful, and there are better ways to grow your page. The next one is carousel posts. You have seen it. You can just swipe to the right and or left, and there are different images or different videos in a row, and usually people use carousel to tell a story, depending on the type of the page, of course. So it's good. As I said, it's great. Carousels are great for storytelling. Next one is a story. A story for daily content, okay? Daily news. What's happening? For example, you can upload 10, 20, 30 stories during the day, right? I do it the same. For example, I'm working on a project. I talk about it. I ask my followers a question. I share funny stuff. I share tips, quick tips, or I share a quiz and try to engage my followers in my content. I will talk about each of these specifically later on the course. So the next one is live. And the good thing about live is that it will send notification almost to all of your followers. So when you go live, your followers that have been engaged with your page, they will receive a notification that, hey, for example, Pouya is live and do you want to check it out? That's great, right? That's great for engaging people, bringing the followers that are interested in your content back and connect with them, right? And the next one is Instagram Reels. It's short videos. It starts from a couple of seconds up to 90 seconds video. The format is vertical, and the use of it's a great tool to get new followers. So as you can see, I put all of these content types into 2 main groups. The first group includes single posts, video, carousel post, story, and live. And the second group is Instagram Reels. Why I did that? Why I separate these into 2 sections, into 2 categories? The reason is because the first category, the first group, is mostly going to help you to engage the followers that you already have. I'm not saying that if you upload a good post and it got, for example, it get viral, or if it goes into explore page, or if it ranks in specific hashtags or location, it will not bring, for example, new followers. It will. But Instagram Reels are extremely strong in getting new followers. That's why we are going to focus on Instagram Reels to get new followers, and use the other type of post to engage the followers that we have. And as we go forward and as your page grows, you can also get new followers using the other types as well. But trust me, the main source of your new followers will be Instagram Reels. So that was all for this part. Let's go for the next one. So during this part, we are going to learn more about Instagram Reels, as it is one of the main keys of getting new followers and growing a page. So let's learn more about what is Instagram Reel. So Instagram Reels are, as I said in the previous lecture, it's short form of videos and they are vertical, right? And there are four category based on the time that Instagram will put them in, and it is 15 seconds timing for the videos, 30, 60, and 90. Now, it doesn't mean that your videos cannot be, for example, 10 seconds or 25 seconds, right? It can be, but Instagram will put it in the category of 15 seconds, in the category of 30 seconds, and so on. And one thing, let me tell you, that the shorter your video, the higher will be your chance to go viral. The reason is what we talked about it in the first lecture, to save energy. Most people will be interested to see a good reel that it is short, for example, this 8 or 10 seconds, right? They try to avoid long form of videos like spending 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, right? So try to keep it short. As I said, shorter and simpler is better. You can record and edit all of these Instagram Reels inside the Instagram. So there is a tool for it that I will show you in a minute, that it will help you to record at the same time and edit all the videos inside Instagram itself. But there are some tips and tricks that I'm going to tell you as well. You can record videos at any time. For example, you go out, there is a great idea for recording a reel. You don't need to create the reel at the same time. You can record the videos and later come back and in Instagram or any editing app, edit the video and then post it, okay? The first 3 seconds of your reel is extremely important, okay? It's extremely important because it's what attract people to keep watching. Now, there are different tools and different tricks that can help you to grab the attention in the first 3 seconds. I will show you as we go forward. One of them is to, for example, visually what you're doing. One of them is to increase the curiosity, make the user curious that, oh, what's going to happen next? And I have to watch it. What's going to happen next? Okay. We will learn more about it in the storytelling section and when we are creating reels together. So the next point is that reels can get featured even weeks after you published it. So I had this experience that I published a reel, and after 2-3 weeks, I saw that boom, it's rocking. Okay. For example, the first 2 weeks, it got 2,000 views. Then suddenly after that, after 2-3 weeks, boom, in a day, it jumped on 10,000, 15,000 views. Okay. So it is possible that some of the reels that you uploaded today, they may go viral after a week or 10 days or even a month, right? Don't be picky on that. All right, I have done my job. Why it's not working? It may happen in the future. So how we should create a reel? There are different ways, but right now, as I'm recording this lecture, you can create a reel this way as I'm going to show you. But later, as I said, Instagram is changing everything every single week. And even at the same time, some people, for example, I have this experience because I have different pages at the same time. And when I go to one page, the look is, for example, another thing comparing to my other pages. The place that I can, for example, create a reel, it will change. But anyway, you can figure it out. It's simple. They just move it around, put it somewhere else during the time. And the way you can create an Instagram reel is to click on the plus sign, as you can see in the image. Then at the bottom of the screen, you see there are 4 options: post, a story, reel, live. So you can click on reel, and on the next page, you can start recording or upload videos. I will show you on the next upcoming lectures how you can record, how you should record, and how you edit a video that delivers a better result. Okay, so let's go for the next one. Alright, so during this lecture I'm going to show you how you can create a reel. I'm going to be very fast because at the end of this section again we are going to take a look at the reel tool on Instagram much deeper with a lot of details. So quickly I want to show you, so if you're not familiar with how it works, you be able to create something or start playing with it. Alright, so here we are on my Instagram, and the way to create reels, either I can just swipe to right, and here I am, and at the bottom of the screen you can see it's written reel. Okay, I can click on it, and either at the left side at the bottom of the screen you see it's a plus sign. I can upload videos or images from my phone, or I can start recording or just press one time on it to take an image, right? Okay, this is one, and I'm gonna record another video. I'm gonna just move it around so you can feel the difference between the 3 videos that I am recording, right? So let me just decrease the sound. Alright, so this is the reel that we have. You see there are 3 videos here. You can come here at the bottom left side of the screen, it's written edit clips. You can click on it, and these are the different clips that I have. I can crop and cut part of it and go to the next one, do the same for example, and as well, and when I'm done I can click on all clips, and this is the video that I have. I'm gonna click on done, and at the top there are some other tools. For example, the first one will download the video that you just mixed on your phone without the music, if you added any music to it. The second one adds music, or you can just change the level of the sound. So for example, I can decrease this volume of the videos that I have created and click on music, and for example add a music to it or add a voiceover, depend on what you need. And the next one is about the filters. You can add different filters to your video, and if you don't like to have a filter, this is a little bit tricky. Some people don't know about it. Just if you want to deselect the filter that you have and you don't want to have any filter, just click on the filter that it was active. You see, it will deselect it, right? The next one, you can add some other stuff to it, like quiz, polls, and stuff like that. And you can draw something on the screen with the next tool. And finally, you can add some text, for example, some text, right? You can move it around and put it in the screen. And when you're done with editing your videos and clips, click on next. You can select a cover for it, different frames from different frames that you have, or add from your camera roll. And also you can edit the way it looks on your profile grid. And you can write a caption, add hashtags to it, tag people, add locations, and so on. Okay, I'm gonna go back. One other thing I want to show you. Let's grab the video, yeah. Go back. And here you see, for example, let's come to one of my reels. For example, this one, 3 websites for email marketing, right? You see there's a text here, then on the next video, the text changes. On the third video, again, we have another text at the top of the screen. And on the third video, we have another text. So how I did that, in order for you to be able to do something like this, all you need to do is to come here in the story tab, okay? You should record the video separately before on your phone. Then upload the videos here. Add the text on each video, okay? Add the text on each video, and when you are done, click on these 3 dots here, save it to your camera roll. Then in the reels, you should use these videos that already have a text on each of them, okay? This way you can have different text on different clips on your video, right? So That was all about the how you can create reels and how you can work with the reel tool on Instagram. I just wanted to show you really quickly, and if you're ready, let's go for the next one. Welcome to the next lecture. During this part, I'm going to teach you how to use Reels Planner. It's something that I made using Google Sheet, and it helped me a lot to organize my work, to organize my reels, and store the ideas that I have. And during the month, I put 1 day, for example, or 2 days for it, and record several reels at the same time. Later, I edit them and publish them in different days, right? So let's take a look at what we have. The Reels Planner, this is the look of it, and in a moment I'm going to explain every single element here, what they are, what it is. The way to access it, either you can come here, click on this green text, or go to this URL, as you can see, pouya.com/reelsplanner/. Okay, go to this URL and it will redirect you to the Google Sheet that we have. So here we are in the Google Sheet, and in order for you to use it, first of all, you must have a Google account, which is very simple. Second, come here, click on File, and the fourth option, as you can see here, is Make a Copy. Okay, this way you create a copy of this Google Sheet for yourself, and you can do whatever you want with it, right? But this one that you see here, you cannot edit it because it's stored on my account and it's not editable. All you can do is to make a copy for yourself so you can edit your own version. So the first tab, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we have 3 tabs. And the first one is a sample. I put it for you so you can more or less understand what's going on here. And there are different columns. You can see, for example, the first one is a status, which you see some of them are raw, some of them are in progress, and some of them are published. The second one is the type of the reel. So in a moment, I'm going to explain what types you should use based on the page that you have, based on your page topic. And for example, if you can use mine or how I get to these topics as well. I'm going to explain it in a moment. The next column is about the ideas that I have for my reel, and the next part are the requirements that I need to record that reel. What topics I need to talk about or show, or what I have to prepare before I start recording the reel. And finally, the final tab is about the publish date. So let's go back to our Reels Planner, the explanation here. So what is the next step? Let's talk about the ideas. So how I get to these, for example, the type of reels, books, shortcuts versus three top something, viral audios, how did I get to these topics? So what you have to do is to go on Instagram and find similar pages and check their reels idea. What did they make reels about? Okay, that's really important to check what your competitors are doing. That's how I did it. For example, let me show you in a second. For example, I got some of the reels idea that I have from this page. Let's take a look at the last video. Top 3 website animations to try out. Okay, top 3 something, right? Let's go for the next one. A roadmap to learn modern JavaScript. Okay, not bad, right? When I find 3D icons, so this is something else. It's about how she reacts, for example. Doesn't matter. How to learn JavaScript visually. Top 4 tutorials for new developers. So you see, you can learn what others are doing, how they are creating reels, and what are the topics that they are using. So what you have to do in this step, you can go and find similar pages to yours that are doing successful Instagram marketing and take a look at what topics they are working on. And also, you can use the topics that I have here. This is from my page. For example, I have books, and the ideas that I have for the books, and this first of all, each sheet that you see here is for 1 month. For example, here I put for you August, September. You can just click on duplicate and again rename it, October, for example, right? You can do it this way, and for each month you can store some idea. Sometimes you cannot, you don't get the chance to record all the ideas that you have, for example, for August. You can put some of them for September. Anyway, for example, for the books type, I have 6 ideas here. 3 books for marketing that I published it, 3 books for 3 books to improve your mindset, 3 books that help you to make more money, and etc. Right? The next one is about shortcuts. For example, when you're using a tool, these are the shortcuts that you can use, for example, for Photoshop, for Google, for stuff like that. I'm going to share these as a reel on Instagram. This is from my page, right? If it is related to what you're doing, you can use it as well. I have verses here, for example, Wix versus WordPress. I show immediately the good things and the bad things about them. Namecheap versus AWS, for example. 3 top something, 3 website for email marketing. We saw it here, right? I got the idea from that page. 3 top video editing softwares, 3 step to grow your YouTube channel, for example. Then I have viral audio. This is something that you can use for any kind of pages with any different topics. All you need to do is to just go on Instagram, take a look at different reels. For example, you can spend 20-30 minutes during the day and go through different reels. And when you find something that went viral, something that people liked a lot, you can think about the audio that it has and just try to imagine how you can use that audio to create a reel connected to what you are doing. I'm going to show one of my reels that I created with the same strategy. Here we are in my reels, and I think it was this one. Let me just increase the audio and... So you see, this was one of the reels that I created using a viral audio. So I listened to the audio and I told myself, okay, I can create something like this that is connected to my business and connected to my page and share it, right? And the last one is how to increase productivity, how to decrease the stress level, how to select the right color for text and background and stuff like that. You get the idea, right? So what you have to do is to find similar pages, check what are the reels that they have created, what are the topics that they have used, what are their ideas, and you can come here. For example, you don't want books, you can change it to something else, right? You can change it to something that you have found and you think it's connected to your page. Then add the ideas to the Google Sheet. So the next step is to come here and, for example, I thought with myself, all right, books. About what books, what kind of books I can talk about? Okay, marketing, for example. What are the top 3 books about marketing that I read? I wrote them here. You see, these are in the requirements tab, for example, Influence, Contagious, Building a Brand Story, or 3 books about 3 books that improve your mindset. The name of the book is Mindset. The 4 Agreements. Courage is Calling from Ryan Holiday. Great book. Anyway, you get the idea where I'm going with this. So the next step is to write the ideas. And when it's ready, the way to use this reel planner is that, for example, at the end of each month, you can spend a couple of hours or 1 day maximum to fill this form, fill this Google Sheet for the next month, and just select a couple of days, for example, 1 day or 2 days, to record all of these ideas. For example, I can record 10 reels in 2 hours, right? 2-3 hours I can spend and record 10 reels, right? And this will make my work much easier. So I spend, for example, 6-7 hours and I record all the reels that I need for the rest of the month. So that's really great, right? So this is how you can use this tool. And that would be all for this lecture. Let's go for the next one. So in this lecture, I'm going to provide several tips that will help you to produce your reels much easier and more professional, right? So the reels production. plan the story for each reel before you even want to sit down and record it. Okay, so we have talked about the Reels planner. There you write your ideas, there you write the requirements for that. So before you want to start recording, prepare everything. Okay, I'm gonna record a reel about this topic. Think about the topic that you have, prepare whatever you need. If you want to show something, if it needs lighting, just plan everything right before beginning the recordings, right? The next step, the next thing that you must always remember, keep the ideas simple and understandable. Now, do not create reels about complicated topics, right? For example, let me again quickly show you. So here we are on my page, and when you make reels about complicated topic, people will struggle more to understand it, and you saw the time of the reels is not much if you want to grab the attention. So it is much better to talk about the stuff that are much simpler and easier. So here, for example, here I have, for example, about 3 books that you must read for marketing, about 4,000 views. How to increase productivity, you see 2,000 views, for example. Now this one was a little bit complicated for people, for example, a 15 seconds video, right? So I made another video about this topic, and I spent, for example, 6, 7, 8 minutes as a YouTube video, right? So you can do this kind of things. If it is something more complicated, you can use it in another place like YouTube. But for Instagram, try to keep the idea itself and the things that you want to show something simple. Not too simple that everybody knows that, but something simple that it's easy to understand for people, right? Next one, prepare the requirements. I mentioned that. Record each video shot on your phone, not on Instagram. So I point out to this tip in a couple of lectures before. It is very useful that, for example, I want to record, take some shots from this microphone and move my camera around it, right? So what I can do, instead of going on Instagram and directly record it there, I can go on my phone and record here. Okay, I can do several recordings, 2, 3, 5 recordings for one idea, for one part. Later, I can come on my phone and go through them. Okay, clip number 1 is not good, clip number 2 is not good. Okay, clip number 3 is great, clip number 4 is not good. Then I'm going to remove them, keep the best one of them, right? Now, this is one of the benefits. The second benefit is that you have the ability to write text or edit each of these shots differently. For example, I have talked about this idea. For example, 3 books to increase your productivity, for example. On the first video, I can write down my title. On the second video, I can write the name of the first book. On the third video, I can write the name of the second book, the first book, second book, third book, and so on. Okay, you get the idea. So it is much better to record the videos on your phone rather than on Instagram reel itself. Select the best shot, cut, and add text overlay to your clips, and prepare the reel and save it as a draft. So we talked about the reel planner, right? We have it here. So let's say that I have recorded all of these 6 videos, and I'm going to prepare them now, and I'm going to post each of them during the next week. Okay, every day I'm gonna upload one reel. So to make it much easier, all I need to do is to just create the reel on my Instagram, add caption, select the cover photo, etc., etc. And when you want, at the last step, instead of clicking on publish, you can click on save as a draft. And when you go to your reel on your page, you see at the left bottom part of this image, the reels that you have saved as a draft will be there, and all you need to do when you want to publish them, click on it. It will go back to the settings of that reel and you can publish it. One thing, the last point here that you have to remember is that sometimes when you edit a reel, do everything that you want with it, and you save it as a draft, later when you come back and you want to publish that reel, some of the elements will change. For example, the music may go away. The cover photo that you have selected may go away as well. So before you publish any draft reels, just check if the music is right. If it was, then it's okay. If it's not, select it again and fix the cover photo as well. Again, it may be okay, it may be changed, right? So just pay attention to this tip, and that would be all about the tips that you need to remember when you want to produce reels. What do you think? Should we make a reel together? Let's try it. In this video, I'm going to show you how I create one of my reels, and I'm going to share every step of the way, but very quickly, not to take your time. So let's take a look at the Reels Planner. The third idea here, 3 books that help you make more money: The Way to Wealth, Financial Independence, and Think and Grow Rich. So I have prepared them here, the images of each of them, so I can show them on my reel. And you see all of them are ready. So let's begin. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to prepare my set for the first shot. And for that, I need this tool here. So I need to cut down the sound. So hopefully you got my voice here. I'm gonna record the next shots on my computer to show the different books, right? So here we go. Alright, so I have recorded several videos. You saw me probably doing one thing several times. So here I have, let me just record it on my phone as well. So here I have different videos, as you can see. For example, the final video, which is about call to action. It took me, for example, it's a 51 second video. The rest of them, you see, each of the videos are, each of the shots, I took it 3-4 times, and then I'm going to select the best of them. So let's edit the videos. I'm gonna save video as a new clip as well. So you see, I got my beginning and I got my final shot, and let's edit the rest of them. For example, this one, I think I was happier with this one. Now I have edited my videos and cut down the part that I want. Now I'm going to add text to it. So I'm gonna jump on Instagram and go to the stories, and here I'm going to upload them, bring them here and add text. For example, this is the first shot, right? Three books that will help you to learn more about, what was the topic? 3 books that help you make more money. So that's the title here. 3 books that I'm gonna add the book icon as well. 3 books that help you make more money, for example, right? I'm going to put a white background and alignment to center, and the position of it is good, right? I'm going to bring it a little bit lower. 3 books that help you make more money. And I can add the filters that I want to it. And when I'm done with this clip, I'm going to save it, right? Okay, let's go for the next one. And final video. Okay. Follow for more. I'm going to put 4 more on the next line. So, okay, that's okay. Anyway, I'm going to put it here. So I point out to it, right? And add the style and save it. Now I have all my videos ready to mix them in the reel. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna click on reel, and at the bottom of the screen I have my videos. So the first one will be 3 books that help you make more money. I'm gonna add that, and the next one will be number 1, Benjamin Franklin, The Way to Wealth, and number 2 will be The Financial Independence by Jim Rohn. It's a great book. And you see at the top it will show me how much time I have left. So this book is taking a lot of time. I'm going to decrease it and start, for example, from here and cut the last part. Later we can edit it as well, but I want to show you how it's been done here. Again, I'm going to decrease the length of it a bit. Maybe a little more, add, and our call to action, follow for more, right? I'm gonna just let it be the way it is. Maybe till here, it's fine. Okay, now we are done, and we can go on the next part. So this is the reel that we have made. So boom, when I point out, we go. I think I have to cut a bit more. So we have 6 seconds to show all the books, 1.8 second, yeah, for the first clip, and for our call to action, 2.3 seconds, right? That would be all. So I have mixed it, my video is ready, and all I need is a good sound. So what I'm going to do now is to look for a good sound, right? I'm going to increase the sound here, and also turn off my own sound here. So the videos that we recorded, we don't need the sound there. And while you one thing is that while you are just watching different reels on Instagram, you can save the audio, and later here you see it is written saved. I can click on saved and come to the audios.
I realize that some people don't like.
Now we have the music, we have mixed our clips, we have text on each slide, each shot, and it's ready. I'm going to add all of the information that I need in the next part here. First of all, let's select a cover for it. Usually, if you can create a cover before on, for example, your computer or with Photoshop or stuff like that, that's good. If not, you can just select one of the good shots or good frames from your videos and just fix it, okay? So for example, this one, it's not so bad. I have the title, 3 books that help you make more money, right? So the cover is good. I'm gonna quickly write a caption for it. All right, so as you saw, I have created the reel and added all the information that I need, and I just saved it as a draft. I didn't publish it. And when I go to my page and go to the reels, you see here it is. It is saved as a draft. So if I click on it and I can select it, I'm gonna check the cover image. You see the profile grid have changed. I need to bring it down again so the title would be visible. And all I'm going to do now is to share it. And it's sharing it. And I'm going to refresh it here. And you see now the draft is gone and I have my video ready here. Okay, so for this lecture, and I wanted you to see in real life how it is to create a reel and what are all the challenges and the steps that I took to create this reel, so you get familiar with all the stuff and all the things that you saw. And it took me about, I don't know, 20-30 minutes to create this reel, edit it and write everything and mixing all the stuff. So if you spend, for example, 1 day on creating reels, you can create, for example, 10 or a little bit more great reels for your Instagram page. And 2 days every month will provide all the reels that you need during the whole month. Okay, so that would be all. Let's go for the next one. So in this lecture, we are going to learn how we can tell a story through reels and carousels and what the structure should be. So let's take a look at it. So here we are in our PDF, and every story on, we can say, Instagram or generally on social media, it usually includes 3 parts that we consider it from marketing perspective. So the first part is the intro. And the intro itself, it usually divides into 2 sections. The first section usually offer a reward to the listener, to the viewer, that if you watch this, you are going to get this reward. It's not only this structure, it's not only applying to social media, even in some successful TV series and movies, you can find more or less the similar structure. This is the first part of the intro, the first type of the intro that we can have. The second type is curiosity or question. We see this a lot, especially in successful TV series and movies, that the first 2-3 minutes, they show some shots. They show some shots that create strange questions in the viewer's mind. We have the same thing on Instagram and other social media channels, that the first 2-3 seconds, for example, regarding reels, the first 2-3 seconds either offer you a great reward if you watch the whole reel, or create some questions and make you more curious that, oh, what's gonna happen? I have to see this reel till the end, or I have to go through this carousel till the end so I understand what's going on here, to find answers for the questions that have been created. So after the intro, what do we have? It's the story itself. And the way we tell our stories on Instagram usually divide into 3 types. The first type usually point out to different points. For example, 3 things to do this, 3 ways to do this, 4 things to achieve this. So there are different points. In a moment, in the next lecture, I'm going to show you specific examples so you understand it better. The next one are steps. 3 steps, for example, to decrease stress. 3 steps to decrease back pain, right? So the difference between these 2, in the second one, there is an order, right? There is an order. 1, 2, 3. First, you must do this. Second, you must do this. Third, you must do this. And the final type is the process. Okay, it shows a process of doing something, of going somewhere. We see this a lot on Instagram. But usually for pages that are doing marketing in the purpose of converting viewers into followers and converting followers into customers, usually they follow the first two ways. The process usually lies on the rest of the type of the pages that are doing some kind of marketing, for example, influencer marketing on Instagram or even other channels, right? So the process is showing doing something or going somewhere. It's a process of something, right? That's clear. And the final part is the ending, which for us as a marketer, it's really important because we somehow point out what we want from our viewers, from our followers to do, right? And it's called call to action. So the whole structure of storytelling in social media, especially on Instagram Reels and Carousel, lies into this system. Now, one of the most successful storyteller that became very viral and became very successful in this field just by telling a good story started used more or less the same structure. So I'm going to show you. You probably know this guy, right? So he started, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. I think about 2 years ago on TikTok, and right now you see he has almost 80 million followers on Instagram. And what he does is to use, he's a great storyteller. He used some videos that others upload on social media or somewhere else, and he create a funny story out of it, right? And entertainment is one of the things that attracts people. So let's together watch the last video that he has. And for example, you see he got this video on the internet that there are some firefighters and they are, for example, dancing and singing, and he converted this to a funny story by adding the second part of the story himself, that his house is on fire and he's calling the firefighters and they're dancing and singing, right? So if we want to look at it from this structure that we talked about, so the beginning, when it shows that there are a couple of people, there are a couple of firefighters and they want to sing and dance, it creates curiosity. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, and if you know this guy, you know something funny is going to come, right? So immediately when you see something like this, you are waiting for the funny thing. So you're curious that, all right, what is he going to do with this video this time, right? So more or less he used this structure. This was a great example of a storytelling and how important it is to attract and grab the attention of the crowd, right? So in the next lecture, I'm going to show more examples, and then we are going to take a look at the similar structures on social media and see how it is. So let's go for the next one. So together, let's take a look at some examples about the structure that we have learned during the previous lecture. So here we are. And the first type of the intro that we had was about reward, right? So these are some examples. How to decrease stress. So you know that when you see this title, that all right, I'm going to learn something that help me decrease my stress. So decreasing the stress for me works as a reward, right? How I never get sick, for example, right? So these works as a reward. We had the similar examples in the previous lectures. 3 books that helps you make more money. Oh, okay, making more money works as a reward for me, okay? And all right, 3 books that teaches me something like that. I really wanted to know this, right? So it pushes the listeners, the viewers, to keep watching. Next, curiosity or creating questions. I wish I knew this 10 years ago. So when you hear something like this or see a sentence like this, okay, first of all, what is this, right? when you're saying, I wish I knew this 10 years ago, first of all, it should be something very important that you're wishing that you knew this 10 years ago. And you get curious that learn more about this thing that is very important for the guy who is talking about it, right? So it creates questions, it creates curiosity. Another common sample that we have all the time, wait for the end, right? And these things that we talked about till now are like titles, right? But we can create the same, almost the same effect using other stuff like a video or for example, GIFs or some images can more or less demonstrate the same thing. I'm going to show you a page on TikTok that uses a video that it's really common on social media, and more or less everybody knows that when this video exists, something funny is coming. So let's go on TikTok. Okay, so here's the page. I was just going through TikTok and I found this page, and here is the video. You see there is, for example, you see this guy at the bottom of the screen with a cap. So immediately when you see this image, because this guy is going to laugh at something funny in 3 or 4 seconds. So immediately when you see this guy, you know that something funny is coming. So you get curious that what's going to happen soon. For example, in this video, something like this is going to happen. It may not even be funny, but let me just show you the views. For example, this video that we watched, almost 60,000 views, right? So you see, he's just using the same strategy. He's just adding this video at the bottom of every video. For example, this one, 300,000 views. So it's just some guy probably mixing funny videos with this video, and this video is going to help him to have a positive intro. And that's how he's grabbing the attention. He has about 30,000 followers, and most of his videos are very successful, right? So let's go for the next, which was a story. The first type of a story was talking about 3 points, right? 3 habits to stay healthy, right? 1, 2, 3. You can start from the third one, you can start from the second one. There is no order, right? And the next one, we are talking about steps, okay? There is an order. 3 steps to decrease back pain. First do this, then do this, then do this, right? And then next one, and the last one, it is show a process of doing something or going somewhere. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you some examples on Instagram for each of these. And the last one was call to action, which can be, for example, follow for more, which I use it a lot and a lot of other people are using. Like and share, for example, which back then in Facebook time, it was used a lot. And for example, click on the bio link. It's very common on Instagram, right? So that was all for this part. On the next lecture, I'm going to show you some examples with the same structure on Instagram, both carousel and reels. So let's go for the next one. So let's take a look at some examples on Instagram. And let me turn on the recordings. So here we go. The first thing that we talked about was, for the intro, was the reward, right? So let's, for example, most of the reels that I have is connected to the reward. For example, we completed this reels, we made this reel inside this course, and you saw, for example, 3 books to do this, right? And for example, let's come here, 3 websites for email marketing, how to increase productivity. All of them are offering rewards, right? And let's come lower, for example, 3 websites to get graphic contents, right? All of them offer rewards. Now let's take a look at curiosity and creating questions. For example, here, I use the wait for it text that we talked about it, right? Okay, what's going to happen? And usually the wait for it text, the wait for it title comes with an emoji, right? If you, for example, put funny, put laughter emoji here, it tells the listener, tells the viewers that, all right, something funny is coming, right? If you, for example, put sad thing here, they expecting something emotional to come. For example, this one, how I built, for example, this website, that I talked a lot about it. This can create questions and curiosity for the users, right? And there are some audios. For example, this audio for this video, you see, it's also very common sound on Instagram, and there are a lot of viral videos on Instagram that use the same sound, and when you hear it you expect something. Okay, so you're curious that, all right, for example, this is daylight, what's gonna happen next, right? What kind of light is gonna come? So again, create curiosity. Let's go for the next one. 3 habits, we talked about it. I have shown the examples here, 3 steps to do this. For example, 4 steps, let's take a look at a carousel here. 8 steps to remove bad habits, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And the final slide goes to call to action, right? So for example, this one goes in the first type, right? 5 button mistakes. It's like 3 healthy habits. There is no order, right? But here there was an order. First you have to do this, second you have to do this, and so on. The next was showing a process. And showing a process, it's so common. It's so common on Instagram. For example, this video, it's showing a process. It's showing a cat on an airplane, right? And it's very common on Instagram. For example, this video is showing a process of unboxing new lights, right? And this was on my page. We can even look at other pages. For example, let's go to Ty Lopez's page, and let's look at let's go to Reels so we can see how was the view. For example, here, in the middle of the screen, my biggest pain in life, right? 94,000 views. So it creates question. What is the biggest pain in Ty's life, right? So this one, okay, it shows a 1-year-old, 1.5 years, okay, and you get curious that, all right, what is this kid going to do when he gets a little bit older? So you keep watching what's happening. So you see, it follows and it shows how the processing is going and how he's improving. So it goes the same way, right? The process, showing the process, is so common. And for example, here, there was a reel that I uploaded long ago. I want to give you another example of something else here. All right, so here it is. It shows a mother that put his baby inside a metro wagon, and then it starts going, and then someone comes and take care of the baby and get out in the next station. There's a guy with beer, right? So the thing that I want you to understand here is that emotional videos are extremely effective. Emotional videos are extremely effective, right? If you can use it the right way. And for example, let's go back to Ty's page. He's using emotional videos a lot lately. For example, this video you see, just take a look at the views that he had. For example, my biggest pain had almost 100,000 views, but this one had 600,000 views, right? So what's happening in the first 3 seconds, you almost see some guy in an army suit is just fighting with a little boy, that is blindfolded, right? So you expect something emotional is going to happen, and you're waiting. You keep watching this video till the end to see the reaction of the boy when he sees his father, right? So it creates curiosity. Beside that, it has a strong feeling and strong emotions in the video, right? So these were some of the examples that I wanted you to see and get better at storytelling, right? That was all. Let's go for the next one. At the beginning of this course, we talked about the different post types that we can have on Instagram. Then we went very deep into Instagram Reels and we learned all about that. And right now we are going to spend more time on the other types of posts and how we can benefit them, where we have to use them, how we have to use them to get the most result possible out of it. So here we are, and in this lecture we are going to talk about single image and videos. It's very simple. I'm just going to point out to some common tips that you need to know before you use them. So single images and single videos focused more on existing followers, especially if you just started your page, if you have less than usually 10,000 followers. These type of posts, single posts and single videos, usually focus on existing followers. But as you grow your page and you get to higher engagements, you can also get new users, new followers from single image and single videos. The way that Instagram works today, 2 up to 3 posts per day, it's enough in general for most of the pages. But there are some exceptions to it. For example, if you have an Instagram page about news, even if you upload 50 single posts or single image or single video per day, it's okay, right? Because it's about news and people accept that, people are okay with that. But if, for example, I have a page about marketing, or I have a page about some, for example, educational content, if I upload, for example, 20 single images or single videos per day, I will have a huge number of unfollow, because people get mad, right? The huge amount of information one day, it's not gonna help, right? On news, because it's so simple. For example, immediately you read something and you understand that, all right, this thing happened today, right? So keep it simple. We talked about this a lot. I cannot stress on this more, as it is so important in marketing. Making things complicated, you lose your results. Check your competitors for idea. So if you don't have any idea that, all right, about what I should create a post, and my page is about, for example, clothing, or it's about electronic gadgets, just take a look at some other pages with the same topic and see what they are doing, right? About what they are posting and which of those posts have more engagements. Yes, there may be, for example, when you look at other pages, you see there are more engagement on some of their posts. Yes, they may run ads on some of their posts. They may run promotions on some of their posts. But in general, when you go through, for example, 100 posts, you more or less get the idea that these type of posts are delivering a better result, right? And finally, ask people to engage. In the caption of the post, you can, the first sentence is really important. The first, for example, 5 or 6 words, it's very important. You should try to do your best to ask people to do something. For example, ask them a question. Have you seen this thing before? What do you think? What's your opinion about this video? If it was you, would you do this? Right? Ask them a question. So these type of questions will encourage followers to leave a comment. And when you get more comments, you will have a higher chance to grow your page. More people, Instagram will show your post to more people, and so on. This is a sample of single image. I'm sure you have seen this type of post, and this is a sample of videos, the way they look today, right? Instagram changes these things every week, I can say, more or less. So right now that I'm recording, they look this way. Later, maybe if, I don't know, when you're watching this course, you may see something a little bit different. They wouldn't change it much, but a little bit different. So that was all about single image and single videos. And on the next part, we are going to talk about carousel, and there are some great tips about it that I'm going to share. During this lecture, we are going to focus on carousel type of posts. It has a lot of details that can help you over the time to be more successful at carousels and grab a lot of attention. So let's take a look at what we have here. Carousels, as we talked about it, as I mentioned it in the first couple of lectures of this course, are very good for storytelling. And you can use the same structure of a storytelling that we talked about it in the previous section for carousels. I'm going to show you some examples so you get the idea better. You can upload, because creating carousels, good carousels, is taking time. You can upload 1, maximum 2 carousels per week, right? Because if you want to upload more, probably you have to spend a lot more time, and somehow more or less you will decrease the quality of your carousels, and it won't be good. Next, follows the same rules for storytelling as reels that we talked about it during a previous section. Keep it simple, avoid confusing slides. So right now we are going to take a look at an example for a slide from a carousel, and I'm going to mention some points as well. So here is the first slide. When you look at it, it's very simple. You see there are a lot of empty spaces here, and the work of these empty spaces is to drive your attention to these texts. Okay, they are not useless. Most people think that these empty spaces, these white spaces, are useless, but no, they have a purpose. They drive your attention toward the texts. And you see the texts are not so complicated. It used a simple language, plus there aren't many words, right? 10, 12 words tops in total. So I want to be good at something. Then the second guy says, then be bad at it first. It's very simple. And it also creates curiosity, right? Okay, I want to be good at something, then be bad at it first. So why I should be bad at something? Why I should start to be bad at something? Let's go for the next one. Be bad first? Yeah. So you see, it's very simple. It is avoiding confusing slides, and it doesn't take a lot of energy from me. Okay. If it had, for example, a long sentence here, maybe I would stop going further, right? Let's go for the next one. So you see, it's getting a little bit more complicated. The sentence is getting a bit longer, right? And there are two major things connected to our mind, the way it works, that I'm going to point out. One of them I told you before. You see, the fourth slide is more or less the same. It has a longer text. So what would happen? Pay attention to this question. What would happen if the guy who created this carousel put these 2 slides at the beginning? I will tell you what would happen. Probably he would lose 80% of the views that he had, right? Why? Because when people see that there's something complicated and energy taking here, they wouldn't even start it. So let's get back to this sentence that I mentioned it before about our mind. The human mind rejects energy taking and difficult tasks to save more energy. If you haven't wrote this sentence yet, write it down, because it's really important. The human mind rejects energy taking and difficult tasks to save more energy. This is really important, especially in marketing. Whatever you do in marketing that doesn't follow this rule, you're going to waste your time. Now, there is the second thing connected to our mind here. I talked about this in the cognitive biases in my other videos and my other courses. So the reason that the person who created these slides he made the first two very simple and less energy taking is because of this rule. The human mind tends to continue the tasks it already started. It's called inconsistency avoidance cognitive bias. For example, you start a process, you start doing something, you started cooking a food, right? You spend 2 hours cooking something, and after 2 hours, you burn the food. Usually, most people try to eat that food, even it tastes bad, even it's unhealthy. The main reason is this rule, because they started the process and they want to finish it. Now, I'm not talking about some tasks that, all right, you say, I want to lose weight and I want to go to gym every day for the next 300 days that comes, and you start day 1, day 2, and then you stop. I'm not talking about those stuff, those process. I'm talking about simpler process that for some reason you started, for example, cooking a food, some process that doesn't take longer time. And as you go forward, your power to say no to that process will decrease. Marketers, successful marketers know about this rule and use this rule in their marketing. That's why when you see, for example, successful guy is doing marketing, for example, there was a person, he was running ads on Instagram showing a system that will tell you your body type, and it shows he was trying to help you to build your body, to have a better body, healthier body, right? So he was saying that you just take this quiz and you will learn more about your body type. You don't need to pay. You don't need to even give me your email. It's just all free. What do you say? Most people say, okay, let's find out what is my body type. I'm not going to lose anything. I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to even give my email, right? So you continue. You answer several questions and you learn more about your body type. Then he shows another video. There he tries to get you inside the program. For example, 3 days program, it's free, right? For example, or watch this 20-minute free video to learn more how you can fix or improve these body types, right? So you say, all right, I'm not going to lose anything, and you keep watching that. And after that, he tries to sell you the product. I have seen this thousands of times on internet, okay? Or even locally when I go outside, when I see successful marketers that are selling something, some product, they know about these strategies. They know about these cognitive biases about our brain. That's why they're successful. So remember these two notes as they are very important. And let's take a look at 2 carousel examples. I'm going to be quick. So icons design, do's and don'ts. It's very clear, very simple. You see there are a lot of empty spaces. There are very big elements, big text, 4 or 5 words text. It's simple, right? Then you start the process. You see, for example, these are the points. Okay, don't do this, do this. Don't do this, do this. Don't do this, do this, right? There are a couple of points here, as you can see, and all of them are very simple. And here in the 8th slide, the person asks you a question, interested in this icon package, right? So if you are interested, do this and you get 20% off if you click on the link in the bio, right? So this is the call to action. He more or less, he divided the call to action into 3 slides here. Asking question, give you some small instructions, and then boom, reward. Click on the bio link, you get 20% off. Let's go for the next one. So this is from my own page. Read this if you feel confused. So you see there are again a lot of empty spaces and your eyes can easily follow the process. This is really important. If I just do this text vice versa, for example, bring this text up and bring this text down, because our eyes try to read from left to right, from top to bottom, I'm just breaking this rule and the user get confused, right? So you should pay attention to these small stuff as well. You see, very simple. Now the guy, the person, the user already read 3 slides of my carousel. Then I go a little bit complicated and goes this way, and finally the call to action. So this was how carousels work. I tried to point out to the major things quickly so you get the idea, so you get how it works. And on the next part, we're going to talk about the next post type. See you on the next one. The other type of post that we are going to talk about in this lecture are stories. So, stories is usually used to stay in touch with your followers daily, right? So you can share about daily news that is happening during the day for you, daily process that your company, for example, have to go through. You can share all these stuff with your followers, right? It's to stay in touch with your existing followers. One of the things that is really important on the stories, try to be yourself. When I say be yourself, is avoid making fake stuff. Avoid making fake stuff. Don't think that, all right, I want to grab the attention of the users or my own users or my own followers, so I'm going to show them a fancy car, right? Be yourself. For example, this is my room. This is the room that I'm creating these courses, I'm working, I'm creating web applications and stuff. It's all happening in this room. And every single time that I'm showing a story, I'm just showing this room. I'm not going somewhere fancy to show some stories, right? If you do that, then it's not, people understand that it's not you. They will stop following you, right? Be yourself, be who you are. If my face looked this way, this is who I am, right? I don't have to go and do hundreds of makeup on my face to be to look a little better in front of camera, right? Be yourself. Show process. This really helps on Instagram stories. Show the process of doing something. For example, I'm creating a course. I show the process. I'm writing the PDF. I'm recording now. I'm editing now. This is the way how I edit the videos, etc., etc. You get the idea. Next, use poll, quiz, question to increase engagement. This really helps a lot. It really helps a lot. So you can use polls to, for example, what do you think? Do you think this is better or that is better, right? Ask a question from your followers, give them 1 or 2 choices. Ask your followers a question and give them several choices so they can tell you. I use this a lot, not only to increase the engagement of my page, but also to learn more about what my followers think, right? It can help me to produce a better product for my followers. Quiz is the same. When you are creating quiz, try simple and easy questions. Why? Because when it is a difficult question, most people don't know the answer. When they don't know the answer, they won't take part in the quiz, right? But when it is simple, a lot more people click on one of those choices. This way, you get higher engagement, right? So try using simple questions. Simple questions that you more or less know almost 60%, 70%, 80% of your followers know the answer. Right, next. So share your new post as a story. This really works. I'm going to tell you how you should share it in a moment. So this is the first sample of a stories that I use, daily news, right? I'm doing this in an hour, wish me luck, for example. I have an exam, I have to do this, I have a project, I have a presentation, etc., right? Daily news. Quiz that I mentioned, right? I usually, for example, when I create a quiz, I ask a simple question. I put 2 choices that are close to each other and one of them is the correct answer. Then I put a very far choice that it's not really connected. And finally, I usually put something that it's absolutely not related, right? For example, the question is that, for example, what kind of camera I use to record this video. And I have several choices, and the last choice I usually put, for example, I don't even use a camera. You see, something not related. And a lot of people click on that because first, it's funny. Second, if they don't know it, if they don't know the answer, that 20, 30, 40% of the followers that they don't know the answer, they go usually for that funny choice, right? And this will increase the engagement. So this is how you should share your posts. For example, here you see I hide the post itself. I drew on it and I wrote new reel, and I put a countdown even before I publish the reel. Okay, for example, in 5 hours I'm gonna upload a new reel about this, right? So I put the countdown, and when the 5 hour finish and I upload it, then again I upload another a story. Again, I hide the story itself and I encourage people to view it. Have you seen this? I'm going to share I have shared a great thing in this reel, for example. I push them, I give them a reason to click on this and their new reel or new post or whatever it is and see it through a stories. And finally, we have promotions type for stories that you, for example, produce a new publish a new product, release a new product, whatever it is. Or for example, in this story that you see, I published a new video on YouTube, and I'm asking people that if you want to, for example, learn more about this stuff, click on the link below and jump into my YouTube channel, right? So that was all about the story and the different types of it and the tips that you need to follow to have a successful story. Let's go for the next one. The next post type that we are going to learn here are highlights. And highlights are very similar to the previous type, stories. Let's see why. So here we are on our PDF, and so highlights are stories, but they just remain for longer. So the structure of highlights are exactly similar as the stories. In fact, they are stories that you can store them somewhere in a category, in another folder, for example, and show it to people for as long as you want, right? Stories will go away after 24 hours, but highlights remain for years. So they're similar as posts regarding the time. So you can organize them. You can organize the highlights in different categories. I will show you in a moment how they look and how you can do that. You can add the stories to each highlights over time. So for example, you create different folders. Let's look at highlights as folders. For example, I create online courses. For example, upload the stories about my family. I upload the stories about quotes, for example, about funny stuff. So I create different folders. Work, for example, family, travel, trip, I don't know, quotes and stuff like that. Then I put each of these different stories that I uploaded over time to each of these categories. And a lot of people like it. A lot of people enjoy watching highlights in the specific category. Highlights will jump up in front when you add a new story. I will tell you what do I mean by that. So these are the look of the stories above your posts, normal posts. They will look like this. And the last sentence that I said, highlights will jump up in front when adding a new story. So you see the way my highlights look are this way, for example. If I add a new story to, for example, quotes, the quotes will jump in front, right? For example, this is, I think, from Thai. And if you add a new story to fitness, for example, this fitness jump in front, right? So you can add a title to it, you can add image to it, and the way you can create highlights, there are two ways usually. You can click on this plus sign on your page, and then it will jump to another page which is called archive of your stories. There you have access to all the stories that you uploaded over time, and you can select, for example, I can select the ones that is connected to behind the scene of my production to the behind the scene category, or I can select several of these stories that are connected and have the same category. Then on the next page, I can create the title for it, whatever the title is, and either I can select the highlight thumbnail either from the stories that exist, or I can upload it from my phone. So I can create a thumbnail for this specific category and then I upload it here. The second way is to click on this three lines at the top right side of your phone, and then after that, on the menu that comes up, select archive, and again you can select the stories and create highlights from there, or add a story to an existing highlight, right? So that was all about highlights, and if you're ready, let's jump into the next lecture. So this is the final post type, and that is live. So lives are really important, and it can help you increase the engagement with the existing followers. And also there are some specific ways, the specific marketing strategies that I will share with you in the marketing strategies section regarding lives that can help you bring new followers to your page. So let's take a look at what we have. When you go live, Instagram will send notification to some of your followers, to the ones that are more engaged with your page. So for example, if you have 1,000 followers and only, for example, 50 of them are engaged or have been engaged with your page over the past couple of weeks or past couple of days, they will receive a notification that Pouya went live, or you went live, and click to watch it, right? Some people don't click even, but the ones who are interested, they can do it. And this way you can increase the engagement of your page, get in touch with your followers, have a chat with them, respond to their questions, or even bring them up in a one-to-one call and others can see it. It's really interesting. So the next thing is that it's good for existing followers that I pointed out. Next, go live with other pages. Now you can find some other pages that are connected with they have the same topic as your page, and more or less they have this similar amount of followers. You can go live and talk about a topic that both of the followers like, and their followers will follow you, your followers will follow them. Not all of them, of course, is a small percentage, but it's another way that you can increase your followers. So, share countdown for lives from one day before as a story. So in the stories, we have in a sticker, let me show you in a moment. We have in a sticker that shows countdown. So let me come here, let me record it first. So here we are, and I'm gonna take a shot. Okay, and I'm gonna add countdown sticker. I'm gonna click on the stickers here, and here's a countdown. And let me write it down, the title, for example, coming live in, for example, 15 minutes, right? And then you can, at the top of the screen, you see, you can change the color and the way it looks. Okay, and of course at the time, and if it is all day, it's one day, for example, you can select the date, or you can turn off this all day, and for example today after 10 minutes it will be, for example, okay, where was it? You're on here, and we are, what time is it now? It's 12, for example. In 12:15 I'm gonna go live, right? You see 15 minutes. And I can share this. Of course, I can move it and put it somewhere around. Let me just find a sweet spot. And you can share this. And of course, I'm going to share it. And in 15 minutes, I'm going to be live. And of course, it's better to do it, as I said, one day before to get the best result. But I wanted to show you how it works. Right? So make sure to have a good internet connection. This is really important. if you have a poor connection, it won't be good. Your followers won't like it, right? So also, after you finish your live, you can save it as a post. So the way to do it, you saw it. This was just a story. You can go to the place that you take stories. The third, you see at the bottom, it's written live. You can click the third option, or later, depending on what Instagram add to it, you can select live, as you can see here, and click on that icon and go live. So that was all about live streaming. It's very effective and very helpful to get your followers, to make your followers engaged with your page. So let's go for the next one. Alright, so let's start Instagram marketing strategies. During this section, we will focus on different marketing strategies that will help you to grow your page, attract new followers, bring new engagement to your page, and hopefully later you can convert these followers into customers. So let's take a look at the first marketing strategy that we are going to learn during this lecture. DM and VM, which is a short form of direct message and voice message. So Instagram is a social media. Instagram is a social media. It's social. And what you need to do is to be social, right? So one of the things that most people mix on, especially Instagram, is that, all right, I want to have a lot of followers and I just upload posts and they just jump in and get engaged in my posts and do all the work, right? This is one of the things that I meet when I meet people that want to grow their Instagram page, have in their mind. But as I said, Instagram is a social media and you need to be social there. That requires to be in touch with people. So avoid automate messages. I see this a lot, that people set automate messages, that when they receive a message, an automate message will go for them, or they just write something and save it somewhere, and they just, when someone asks a question from them, they just reply with an automate message. Avoid those things. Try to be social. Try to be yourself. Look at it as a person who is chatting, who's talking with you, a customer who is in your store and is talking with you and asking questions, for example, right? The more social you be on Instagram, the better will be for your page, right? So, voice messages, when you're chatting with someone on Instagram, voice messages works much better than text messages. And the reason is that you cannot automate a voice message, and Instagram knows that, and Instagram value it more. Increase your engagement by chatting with followers. We talked about it now, right? So here you will see three shots from my from the chats that I have from with my followers, with my students on my Instagram, and you see they send me some messages and I reply with a voice message sometime, and mix of them. I sometimes write, then I send a voice message, and you see I try to be active. You see how I reply to the followers. I try to be active, and I don't do this just to, for example, grow my page for the purpose of growing my page. I do this because I want to be in touch with people and have engagement. And one of the good benefits of this is that you will convert followers into loyal followers. And what that does, when you upload posts, when you upload a story, they are first there to like, comment, share, and save it, right? And that will help you in the next upcoming strategies to grow your page into a higher level, right? So let's go for the next one. The next strategy that we are going to learn here is commenting on the post of top pages. So most people underestimate the value and the result that this strategy can deliver. Let's take a look at what it is and how it works. So the first step that you should follow is to follow top Instagram pages in your niche. So you create a list of pages and people who are doing more or less the same thing that you are doing, who are active in your area, right? You follow them. This is a step one. Step two, turn on post notification on their pages. So you go to their page, click on the three dots, there's somewhere there, and turn on the post notification. So when they upload a post or anything, you receive a notification. Now, why do we need to do that? Step three, comment on their post when they upload one. Okay, so immediately when you receive a notification that someone that you follow and it's important to you uploaded a post, just jump on their post. If you do it in the first 1 or 2 minutes, that's great, right? If you do it in the first 1 or 2 minutes after they upload a post, that's great. And leave comments, okay? Leave a comment or several comments, and step number 4, you can respond to others' comment that other people wrote and engage with them. Now, let's look at how it will be. So, this is a screenshot from one of the posts done by Jordan Peterson. Some of you may know him. And look at the first comment here, okay? He wrote something and he got 500 likes and 7 comments. It means that about 500 people paid attention to what he wrote and got engaged with this page, right? And imagine from these 500 people, let's say 20, 30 of them just visit the page, right? Visit his page and they like it, and for example half of them, like 10 or 15 of them, follow that page. How it will be. And imagine if you do this 10-20 times per day for the rest of the month, and you will see how it works, right? If you just follow these strategies, just this single strategy, it will help you to get something around 2,000 up to 8,000 followers per month just using this single strategy, right? So look at the rest of the comments. You see, for example, this one, what you see when it is complicated, the reaction of people get less. You see, this one is like 7-6 words. This one is 3-4 sentence, and you see the difference. Look at the third comment. You see, it's very short. Internet that very short and funny also, and you see 400, even though that it's the third comment, 400 likes, right? This one again short, the fourth comment, and a lot of likes. So this is another example from Tai Lopez, and again you see the result. All you need to do, go there, leave comment or comments, respond to other people's comments and just like them, get in touch with them, chat with them, make conversation there. That will help a lot. Okay, so that was all for this strategy. Practice this and let's go for the next one. The next strategy that we are going to learn here is remix. Now, some of you may know this, but you have the ability to use other people's reels and create new ones. How? Using remix. So let's take a look at it. Remix is mixing others' reels with yours and publish it as a new one. Okay, so you can go on Instagram, find different reels that you are interested and you think you can create something good or something interested with it, or you can go after reels that became viral, a lot of people react to them. You can use those reels and create a remix and upload it on your page as a new reel. So the way it works is that your video that you record, your reel, can come after the first video. Okay, first in your remix you show the first video that became viral or whatever it is, that it's from other pages, then your video comes, or it can be side by side as in a square. Okay, both of them play at the same time. So also, there's a strategy that you can use. You can ask your followers to create remix with your video, with your reels, right? This way, a lot of people, you can, for example, create a good reel, which is a good idea for creating a remix, and ask your followers to create a remix. And this way, if they do it, they will introduce you to their followers this way. Okay, and imagine if you have, for example, 10,000 to 20,000 followers, and just 100 people does this, imagine how many people will see you. So let's look at how it is and how you can create a remix. You go on a reel, create on the 3 dots, as you can see on the image here. Then a pop-up will appear, and then click on remix this reel. Then on the next page, on the next pop-up, it will ask you if you want your video to be side by side or comes after each other. Okay. There was a guy that I showed his profile, and here it is. He used remix to become so famous, and he created his fortune over this. So he found videos or reels that there was a guy or a person, someone doing something idiotic, and after that he showed his own video, his own reel, that why are you doing this? You should do it this way, right? And he became famous just by using reels, but he did it first on TikTok, and the name of remix on TikTok is something else, but the structure is the same thing, right? So it's a great strategy. You can use it. You can, as I said, you can find popular reels on Instagram, create a remix and upload it on your page, or you can create a reel and ask your followers to create a remix for it. Okay, so that was all for this strategy, and let's go for the next one. So what we're going to learn during this lecture is Shoutout. Now, this is one of the old strategies that I have been teaching it for the past 4 years, and still it is effective, very effective. During the past 4 years, I think every year I have created a new Instagram marketing course, and every time that I was developing the content of my course, Shoutout was there in the marketing strategies section. Okay, so let's take a look at it and see what it is. So one of the old and good Instagram marketing strategies, and the way it works is that you have to convince a page to share your content or your page. So a page, you have to convince that person, that page, to share your content and tag you and somehow ask their followers to visit your page and follow you, right? This is called Shoutout. Now there are 2 ways to do that. The first way is with money. So you can find any page on Instagram that they're willing to do ads to share, for example, shoutouts, and usually they have a price list. For example, a page with 1 million, 2 million, 3 million followers, they usually charge you $100, $200 for a single post, or sometimes a bit more, a bit less, for a post for a reel. And you pay, for example, $200 to a page, and then you receive a lot of traffic. Okay, this is number one. And the second way is to share each other's content. For example, you have 50,000 followers, you find another page who has 50,000, close to that amount, and you have more or less the same topic. So you can convince that page that, hey, let's do a shout out. You share my content, I share your content, and we ask our followers to follow each other. Okay, it doesn't matter. That 50,000 was an example. If you can, for example, have 1,000 followers and do this, right? This way, you can attract some of the followers that you have to the other page and grow both of the pages at the same time. So you have to make sure, especially for the time that you want to pay with cash, okay, you want to pay money to someone to do a shout out for you, you have to make sure that their engagement is correct based on the followers that they have. Because it's easy to, for example, upload a couple of posts and just with some cheats, with some hacks, grow the number of likes on your post, and then show it to people that, look, I have, for example, 1 million followers, and my post got, for example, 100,000 likes, so my engagement is high, so give me, for example, $200, $300, and I will do a shout out. Make sure that the number of engagement is right. You can ask them to send you analytics of their page, analytics of their posts, that how it did, and this way you can make sure that the number of the likes, comments, engagements in general is related to the number of the followers that they have. Usually it's between 3 to 5%. For example, a page who has 1 million followers, usually they must have something around 30 to 50,000 likes. Okay, usually if they have a number like this, it's a good page and it will be worth giving them $100, $200. Okay, but sometimes you see, and check this, that they have uploaded posts regularly every day. For example, some pages, they just upload, for example, 20 posts, and they cheat, they hack the number of likes on each of those posts, and you see, right, all of the posts got good engagement, got good likes, so it's working, right? But they can't do it, for example, for 500 posts, right? Check that they're active, they have been active over the past months. Okay, so here are some examples of the shoutouts that I was just going through my Instagram and I saw them, and you see, as I said, reels are so effective. Even shoutouts these days become as reels. Before, for example, the last year, it was just, for example, single images or single videos mostly. You see, it's a page, it's an image as a form, but in a form of reel, and you see, it's, for example, showing how much that person made using YouTube, and there's a tag, you click on it, you saw their page. This one the same, it shows before and after becoming successful, and the success these days have different meanings, especially on social media. Anyway, before and after of becoming successful, it's funny every time I look at it, and you read something about it and you click and you jump into their page, and you look, for example, when I took this image, I think this one was uploaded recently, like a couple of minutes, but this one was uploaded a couple of days, and you see about 70,000 views it had, and from those 70,000 views, only just 500, 1,000 people go to their page and follow this guy. He's winning, right? He can convert those 1,000 followers into $4, $5, $6,000 easy, right? So, and it will worth that $200, $300, $400 that they gave to the page to shout out. So, this is how a shout out works, and there are many different ways you can do this. You can form groups with your friends and do this. And there are even some tools, some paid tools, that they form these kind of groups based on their topic and based on their number of followers and engagement. They put all of you in a group and you run shoutouts every week. Okay, there are a lot of things like that. You can just search for it on internet and you can find them, right? So that was all for this strategy. Let's go for the next one. The next strategy is about Instagram post quality check. How we can benefit this term, how we can benefit this event, and use it as a marketing strategy to grow our page. So let's look at what it is. Instagram post quality check. Instagram run tests after you upload a post. Okay, after you upload a post, Instagram will analyze your post to see how is your post based on the followers' perspective. Okay, so Instagram is listening to your followers. If they like it, if they enjoy your post, Instagram will show your post to more people. Let's look at it. So based on the engagement you receive during a specific time, Instagram will, for example, give you a mark to these tests. Okay, for example, from 1 to 10, your post got, for example, this much engagement, you got 6. Okay, for example, these numbers are just an example. It's not happening like this, of course. It's more complicated, but I'm just simplifying the process so you can understand it. Then if your post get a good mark, Instagram will start to show it to more people. For example, let's say you have 1,000 followers, right? And you upload a post. And during the first hour, you get, for example, 100 likes and, for example, 5 comments. Instagram will look at this and say, all right, this is a good post. People liked it, right? People enjoyed this post. So what we do, we show this post to more people. Then what will happen? For example, then they show it to 10,000 people and they see that, all right, 500 people liked it, right? 30 people left comment, for example, 20 people, 40 people, 60 people saved it, 20 people, 30 people shared this post. So this post is really good. People liked it. So let's show it this time to, for example, 50,000 people, 100,000 people, 1 million people. And this is the process of becoming viral on Instagram. Uploading a post and going viral. I will show you an example in a moment. So how you can do this, how you can get a higher score, increase your score. You should put all the focus that you have to deliver, to increase the engagement of your post at the first, especially at the first hour. So upload the post, share it as a story. This is one of the ways that you can do it to grab more attention. Tag top connected pages. For example, you can tag 10, 20 top pages on your post. This way, there are different ways that by tagging you can receive some engagement to your post. Engage on related hashtags. So for example, your post is about cooking. You can go on hashtag cooking and take a look at the recent posts and engage with those recent posts, leave comments, like their post. And for example, if you do this on 100 posts, for example, 20 of those pages may come to your page and take a look at your final post and maybe like and comment. Okay, so this can help as well. I will talk about engage in related hashtags in the next upcoming lectures as well. Go live and mention it. For example, you can one day before, you can set a countdown for your live, and before you go live, a couple of minutes before you go live, upload a post. And when you're live, you can, during that live call, you can ask several times from your followers to just leave a comment, or for example, if they want to if they know the answer of this question, leave a comment there and you give a prize, for example. Okay, there are many different ways that you can play with this and increase the engagement. So in general, what you should do, you should drive as much as traffic as you can. I want to show you a page here. It's a cooking page. All right, so here is the page that I mentioned, and you see she is uploading a lot of different videos about cooking, about different foods. And there is a video, you see most of his reels got, for example, 100,000, about 1 million, 9 million views, right? So look at this one. It got almost 40 million views on this one. And you see, it just passed the Instagram post quality check several times and it became viral. This is how a video becomes viral on a post general becomes viral on Instagram. All you need to do is to get a good mark on this quality checks that Instagram runs. And it can, for example, there is no specific time for it. You should do your best to do it at the first hour, but I had posts that, for example, after 2-3 weeks, boom, suddenly it jumped, and Instagram found that, all right, this is a good post, let's show it to more people, right? So this may happen. It's not very regular, but it may happen, right? So that was all for this strategy, and if you're ready, let's go for the next one. So we get to the next marketing strategy, which concerns hashtags. Let's take a look at how we can benefit hashtags, how we should use hashtags to get a better result and drive more traffic to our page. So here we are, and hashtags are one of the main ways to search for a topic on Instagram. So people can, for example, go to their Explore page, click on the search bar, and for example, search for hashtag cooking, right? Hashtag shoes, hashtag marketing, for example, right? And they can find different posts, different topics, different videos about that. So I'm sure you have seen this, that under a post in the caption, you can write up to 30 hashtags. And when you write hashtags there, your post will appear in those search results. So if you don't have much followers, you should start with low competition hashtags. What do I mean by that? When you search for a hashtag on Instagram, for example, let me show you. When you go on Instagram and search for a hashtag, for example, let's say marketing, right? I'm gonna search for it and I'm gonna come on tags. And you see hashtag marketing itself, it has 68 million posts inside it. So this is very competitive. Every second that you search for this hashtag, you will see new posts. And we come lower. So for example, if my page is getting, for example, 100 likes, I'm not gonna go after a hashtag that it has over 1 million. I should go after hashtags that have, for example, 150,000, 100,000, 200,000 posts maximum, right? So I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna go lower, and you see some of these hashtags are getting close to what, for example, this one. And you should read the hashtag and see if it is connected to what you are doing. Let's say, for example, this one's connected. I'm gonna go on, select these hashtags, and you see it has 113,000 posts inside it. So if I use this hashtag, I have a chance to appear here. For example, this one was uploaded 13th of October 2021. Today it's August 2022. It's almost 10 months after it, and still this post is ranking on this hashtag. So you see how valuable it is if you can rank high in a hashtag. Let's go for the next ones. This one was uploaded 4 days ago with 45 likes. It's ranking here. So if you don't have a lot of engagement on your post, you can use low competition hashtags, and now you know what I mean by that. As you get more followers, as you grow your page, you can use more competitive hashtags. The way I use it, I usually under each post that I have, I use 20 low competition hashtags, then for example 5 or 6 more competitive, and then very high competitive, for example 3-4 hashtags very high competitive, like for example 5 million, 6 million posts in them. So your post may rank high in different hashtags for months. You saw the example, right? So if you just can get up there, you have a chance to stay there for a long time. Not always, but you have a chance. So for example, several days ago I uploaded this video, this reel, and you see with 1,600 views, I'm ranking in one of the hashtags that I used. And the great thing about reels is that each hashtag has 3 categories: top, recent, and reels. And this is why the reels matter so much, because it has many different benefits on different places of Instagram. You see, if you search for a hashtag, reels have a separated place to show the content. You see carousel, single video, single post, all of them in the top and recent tab. But in reels, you see reels, okay? So that's why it matters a lot. So that was all about how hashtags work. And the next lecture, I'm going to teach you another strategy that is connected with hashtags, and you can use it to grow your page. Let's go for the next one. So to this strategy, I call hashtag engagement. So let's learn how it works and how you can benefit from it. So here we are, and the way that it works, I'm going to explain the steps that you have to follow. Step number 1, you have to create a list. Create a list of hashtags that your potential followers may use. So let's look at it deeper. You have potential followers, people who are not following you right now, but if they find your page, if they look at your content, they are interested and they will follow you. So what hashtags they may use? You should put yourself in their shoes and think about what hashtags I would use if I was a potential follower of my own page, right? So this is the first step here. Think about your followers, what your followers may do. I'm going on Instagram and show you in action as well. and you should understand what hashtags they may use. I talked about this. So let's go on Instagram, and let me start the recording. So here I am on my page, and I'm gonna just select one of the posts and go to the people who have liked it, right? So this way I can more or less, for example, get to different pages and, for example, see what hashtags they may use, right? So I'm gonna come here and take a look at the caption and see if they have hashtag. Okay, no hashtags here, no hashtags here. And all right, for example, here we have hashtags, right? Support the small business owners. Okay, so this is a good hashtag that my potential follower may use. I teach marketing. I have a course about, I have a page about marketing and business and all this kind of stuff. So it's a great fit to use this hashtag based on the page topic that I have. So I'm going to click on this hashtag, and for the next step, I'm going to select recent, right? And here I'm going to come and I'm going to take a look at this the content here. I'm going to like, I'm going to read the post or go to their page and learn more about what they're doing, what is their product, what they value a lot that I can write and grab their attention. And I may leave a comment here, for example, right? And I can do this with the next one. For example, I'm going to like it. I'm going to go to their page, learn more about, for example, you see, immediately you can understand what they care most. It's their product. And I'm going to write, for example, it's a very interesting product. Okay. And I'm going to ask, always a question will give you more engagement. Where can I find the online store? Okay, so their product is valuable to them, and one of their goals is to sell their product. So when I ask where can I find the online store, it's immediate. This comment will immediately grab their attention, and if I just leave this comment here, they will definitely answer me, right? So, and if I do this for 100 posts during the day, for 200, 300 posts, for example, during the day, for example, 50 of them, 80 of them may come to my page and, okay, I have a small business and this guy is teaching marketing. So I can follow this guy and learn more about marketing, right? You get the idea here. So it works this way. It's a great strategy. Most people underestimate it. So here are the steps that I just showed you. Visit the hashtags and go to the recent tab. Engage with them on the recent posts. Like, leave comment, and ask questions. All the things that I did. Right. So that was all for this lecture. If you're ready, let's go for the next one. All right. So here we are on the next lecture in Instagram marketing strategies, and let's learn what we are going to talk about in this lecture. So here we are using audio and effect. Now, this strategy is connected to Reels. So let's take a look at it. When you are creating Reels, you can use different audio or music or visual effects. And the good news is that those audio and effects are also searchable. And you can rank high in those searchable items. In, for example, audio, you can rank high. In visual effects, you can rank high. And this way, a lot of people can see your video if you rank high in these categories and drive more traffic to your page, right? So this is a reel. Let's look at this example. This is a reel. And at the bottom of the screen, you see this is the audio, the music or whatever it is that they have used on this reel. So if you click on it, you see this page. And on this page, you see there are a lot of different, about 213,000 reels that have used this audio. And you can take a look at them and you see how many views they have. 2 million, 1 million, 1 million again, a little bit lower, for example, 400, 500, right? So if you can rank high in the audio that you use, you can drive more traffic. Same goes with the visual effect. Here is the visual effect, as you can see. If you click on it, you see the reels that they have used this visual effect. And if you use this visual effect, and if you rank high, you can be there. Now, my point here is that try to use audios and visual effects that you can rank in, and do your best to use both of them at all the time, right? I know that not always you can use visual effects, but audio mostly it's common, you can use it, but do your best to use both of them. This way you have more chance to rank high in these categories and drive more traffic to your page, right? One other thing that I have to tell you is that if you get a lot of engagement, grow your page, you, for example, have 100,000, 200,000 followers, then you can start having your original audio, right? For example, in this image in the center that you can see, it's showing the reels that use this audio. The first video that you see, it will be always here, because the audio that we are talking about is the original sound of this reel. So this page use this audio on this reel, and the rest of them are using this audio. So when you have a lot of engagement, when you grow your page, you can use your original audios, and if you push people to use to create reels or remix your reels, you can create a new category for that song, for that music, for that audio, and you will be always ranking #1 in that place, right? As you can see for this one, right? It has about 20 million views, right? So that was all for audio and effects on reels. If you're ready, let's go for the next one. So as the final lecture in this chapter, I want to point out to 7 rules, 7 characteristics that you have to follow, that you have to pay attention when you're creating posts or content on Instagram. So this lecture is called 7 Rules of Content. On Instagram, your product is your content, is your post, okay? So when you upload a post, don't look at it as something that, all right, it's just something, I'm just putting it out there. That's your product here, okay? And you have to take care about it. You have to work on it. You have to improve it. You have to do your best to create the best content possible, okay? That content will represent you and who you are. So the first characteristics, the first rule that you have to follow, the content must provide value. And the value that we talk about, you have to look at your followers and see what is value to them. For example, if my page is about cooking, when I share a video about a tasty and delicious food, that's valuable to my followers, right? If my page is about marketing, when I share some tip about marketing that help my followers to do something amazing, that's valuable to my followers. That is value that I have to bring into my content. So you have to take a look at what kind of page you have and what consider as value to your followers, and put it in your content, okay? The second one is that it should be simple and easy to understand. I think during this course I have talked about this 4 or 5 times, and that shows how important this rule is. Keep it simple and understandable. Avoid complications. It's a little bit related, right? Avoid complication. Avoid details that they're useless. Now, I'm gonna make examples. For example, in a single image, you can avoid a lot of details there that they just make things complicated. And if you just remove them, the image works the same way. Avoid those stuff. In a video, for example, in a reel, you put, for example, 5, 6 shots, okay? 5, 6 clips. There can be some shots or some clips there that if you just remove them, still the reel is delivering the message. So remove them. If it is useless, if it's just there and there is no reason for it to be there, just remove it, right? It makes it less complicated. the content should be engaging for your user's mind, meaning that the content must create question in your followers' mind. It must engage them. It must push them to leave a comment. It must push them to like it. It must push them to save it. Okay, especially when you are sharing content that has some valuable information inside it, it will push people to save it. Okay, I'm going to show you an example here. Let's come on Instagram again. So here I am on my page, and for example, let's come, I don't know, let's go to Reels. I think it was somewhere around here. For example, here I shared three websites to get graphical content, and let's look at the insights of this. You see, 85 saved, 82 shared, right? So this means that I shared something valuable inside this reel that people valued a lot, and they saved it, right? So this consider for Instagram as engagement. It can be like, comment, share, save, right? Each of these can be very helpful. Okay, next one. Make users curious. Okay, so we talked about the curiosity before. It should create question. The first, for example, 2-3 seconds of a reel, the first 1 or 2 slides of a carousel, it should create question in your followers' mind that pushes them that they want to keep watching or go to the next slide and learn more about it. The next one, it should be interactive. Okay, it is a little bit close to number 4, be engaging for your user's mind, but this one is focused more on the mind. It should push people to think about your content, okay? But this one is the interactive one that relates to the interactions on Instagram. And finally, it should be entertaining, okay? People should enjoy spending time watching your, for example, reels, right? For example, the video about cooking that I just showed you in the previous couple of lectures, I have seen it myself, I don't know, 10, 20 times, and every time I enjoyed it, right? It should deliver a good feeling, right? When your content is entertaining, people will value it a lot, right? So that was all about the 7 rules, and that would be all for this section.